Ambassador workshop for entrepreneurship. So if you want to learn anything on that, you can stay here. The ambassador that will be presenting is Arnav. And yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Arnav. I'm a 16-year-old and I'm a ZNotes Student Ambassador. And I've also contributed to the English language IGCSE notes. Thank you all for joining us today, albeit if some of you were forced here as we delve into this topic of entrepreneurship. So an entrepreneur is an individual who establishes and oversees a business for profit. So they're recognized for typically their innovative approach, their ability to take risks, and their ability to identify opportunities or gaps in the market where they can bring in their product. So to do this, they typically start an enterprise, which is typically a startup in this world, which is a recently established company or firm that has a focus on introducing an innovative product or service to the market. The emphasis lies on rapid growth and securing capital for long-term sustainability. Capital is basically investment or resources that they can use to continue building their startup. Startups are important to be social change makers, and they should serve as catalysts for beneficial social change, as that's the only way they can future-proof themselves and stay for a lot of time. There's a key concept in startups and economics and business studies, to be fair, called unique selling proposition, or USP. A USP is a distinctive factor that sets a startup apart from its competitors. Establishing a strong social media presence and having a well-defined business plan is integral to achieving success as a startup. Social media, as everyone knows, is a global phenomenon, and it's crucial to integrate into any startup or any ideas that you might have. Social media boosts brand awareness and allows your brand to interact directly with the customers. It can inspire brand loyalty with people following and texting the brand, and aids low-cost marketing. If you look at newspapers, TV ads, or billboards, those are significantly much more expensive compared to just creating a free Instagram or say LinkedIn account and making posts over there. Finally, something else that most startups need is a business plan. They're essential for every startup, and it gives guidance to new businesses as well as established businesses. It's basically a detailed document, a set of notes that outlines the goals of the company, their strategies, and their operations. And this gives valuable insights to the entrepreneurs, the stakeholders in the company, as well as the investors or venture capitalists. And some staff, like high-level staff, might also look through the business plan to see what their end goals are. So there are multiple key steps that you should look at before starting your entrepreneurial journey. So conducting market research is really important. You need to go out, present yourself to people, and understand what the people or the consumer needs and what you can do to solve them. Then you should assemble a skilled team and a diverse team across different backgrounds. If you have 5 people who are just really good at social media, but nobody to build the product itself, that leaves you at a loose end. The commitment and the dynamics of the team are also crucial, especially when you come up on navigating the inevitable challenges. I'll just leave you with a quote here. Teams are incredible. No task is too great. No accomplishment too grand. It takes teamwork for startup success. This was said by John C. Maxwell. Similarly, a supportive team or startup founding team can guide you through your startup highs and lows. And there's always somebody, if you have an emergency, there's always somebody who can continue with the startup, because it's a cutthroat world and competitors can spring up at any time. So uncovering a common problem is quite natural, but the real challenge is in identifying a unique issue that's unexplored. So let's go into these points to see how you can shape a distinctive product for your startup. Firstly, communication is how you talk to most of your members, especially if you're working remotely or even if you just live some distance from each other. This is how you'll talk to your staff as it grows. So there's Discord, which we are on right now. There's Slack, and there's Google Meet. So if you were starting out, I'd recommend Slack, as it's basically like Discord, but you can create unlimited channels, emojis, and basically it minimizes the gaming features and it's more targeted for workplaces. Almost every big and small company that you name will use Slack. It also has a feature called huddles, sort of like stages or voice channels on Discord. So you can video call or audio call people and share screens there as well. But some people tend to use Zoom because in Zoom you can invite external guests, whereas Slack is like a Discord server where there are only a few people that you can have inside. Next is the design tools and development tools. So analytics is something that's really important, especially if you're building a web app or any sort of application. Google Analytics is something that is basically the beginner step, and it's quite easy to integrate. Past Google Analytics, there's a tool called Simple Analytics, which is even faster to integrate. It's just a link at the top of your code. And if you're more advanced or want more detailed metrics, there's a tool called Plausible, which you can explore. I won't go too much into depth for all of these, but I'll leave a message in the chat with all these resources. Canva, as I'm sure most of you have used, is a user-friendly design tool where you can create graphics, posters, presentations, and recently websites. It's AI powered as well. As a beginner, I'd recommend Canva, but if you're looking into more detailed designs or something that's more serious, Figma is another good tool. Finally, Procreate is basically it's a digital drawing pad that you can use on iOS. Otherwise, if you have an Android tablet, there are plenty of options that basically are stuff that's already baked into them. So let's look into how you identify a target market. So this is an analytical framework developed by some people that helps companies gain insight into the latent or the demand that is there, but there's no solution for that they can tap into. So if you look at the market for video game consoles, you can see the current market highlighted in red. These are basically the core gamers or people who will continue playing games forever. Then there are the marginal gamers like young adults or people who might become pushed into the core gamers field. Then there's the tier two, which are people who are like readers or sports enthusiasts who don't really want to play games or are against them. And then there's the fourth tier, which are people who've never considered really playing them, like maybe your grandparents or very young children. Although the children metric is changing given internet penetration in the world. So we could look at ZNotes here. ZNotes 1.0 was a WordPress. WordPress is basically a site building tool. So it was built basically like a Google Doc with a link on it. And now it's actually inaccurate. We have 6 million students in the past year, if I'm not mistaken. So ZNotes 1.0 was basically like a blog. Then Zubair, our founder, had an email from somebody who finished his year 10 and moved on to year 11 and wanted help contributing his notes to the website. And that's, as they say, that's where the story started. And the rest was history. So now we have hundreds of interns, contributors, and ambassadors. And we work on ending educational inequality and have been recognized by multiple large companies. Anyways, in the final segment, let's discuss strategies for scaling up a startup. There are multiple strategic moves that are essential. So scaling involves strategic decision making. Again, drawing back to the ZNotes example, we focus on ending educational inequality by expanding our reach and assisting multiple more students. That's why the majority of our platform is free, and donating just unlocks a few other benefits. But otherwise, it's free so that we can help out everybody in the world. Then, if we look at these steps over here, firstly, you should identify a social challenge, like I said, in education, health, or environmental sector. So ZNotes was that there were not too many people who had access to free and good revision resources. Then, you brainstorm creative solutions. How can you end this, or at least solve this issue somewhat? And then you look at the target customer. So for ZNotes, that's actually the students. And then what makes your idea socially impactful? For ZNotes, again, that's just educating multiple people. And number 5 is what your elevator pitch is. So an elevator pitch is basically like a 90-second pitch telling the company or an investor about you. So it should be like as easy to say as you enter an elevator with an investor, and by the time you're out, you've given them all your inputs on the firm and they have time to take their decision. This is something I recommend rehearsing. So you could even practice a short bio of yourself about what the company is and try to address as many points as mentioned here before. You could even mention your competitors if you have any, because these are metrics that they'll be interested in. So, and in our final pitch, you have an elevator pitch, and then you bring that to people, and you can pitch your idea to them. So these are the criteria that you'll be judged on typically. So the level of social responsibility, the individuality of your ideas, how realistic your approach is, and how well you present, basically. So you could submit your idea here and then have a chance to pitch with the global ZNotes team. I see somebody typing, so that's why I'm quiet. Let's see what they have to say. Yeah. So you've written a book and you sold it at the Education Expo. So firstly, I'd say keep it. It is an ebook, so that's amazing. You could put it on Kindle. You could put it there, and there are services where they can also you upload the PDF to their site. Like Shopify has this, I know, and when somebody orders it, they can print your ebook into a physical book, then ship that to them. Otherwise, for marketing, you could even use Instagram to sell your books, or even make a YouTube video detailing how you produce the book, where you sell it, and short information about you. Uh, how much are you selling the book for? In terms of your currency, is fine as well. Just maybe print them out, and then for I don't know, maybe it costs $5 to print it. I'm not sure how much stuff costs where you're located. But print it out and then sell it for $20, sell it for $25, because there are some people who really like reading through books rather than just scrolling through them, where they believe that other websites like Wikipedia, for example, might be a better source of information. Good luck on selling the book. Okay, I think we're done with the questions. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you.